Welcome everyone back to North to Prem. In today's episode we have two games in the Championship. We're at home to Luton and then we are away to Ipswich. Since you last left us, which was, what was it? It was near the beginning of the season, wasn't it? It was Middlesbrough, Bolton Middlesbrough, I think maybe. So we got a cup game. I mean, it might not have been. It's been quite a while since I've done these videos. So if I'm repeating myself on any of these fixtures, then I do apologise. But we have got the League Cup where we progressed. And we're still in the League Cup, actually, because we beat Nottingham Forest in the third round. Nottingham Forest of the third in the Championship. So that's quite a good result. We beat them on penalties. We then beat Swansea, who are, again, doing okay, 10th in the Championship. So we're beating teams in and around us, which is good. We beat them 4-2 in the fourth round, which means we do have a quarter-final match against second in the Premier League, Aston Villa. So that's going to be probably the end of the road for us, but you never know. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll obviously do that off camera. In the league, it's been a bit up and down, a lot of draws, not too many losses, but not too many wins either. We've just been drawing a lot of games, but as long as we can keep picking up points, I'm okay with that. So we did get back-to-back wins in the league, coming off our good penalty win in the League Cup. We beat Birmingham 2-1 and then beat Preston 3-2. We then went on a little bit of a run, went on a bit of a kind of defeat streak. We lost 3-1 away to Norwich, then 3-0 away to Swansea, then 1-0 against Forest. We then managed to kind of settle the sort of bad form a little bit with 3 draws in a row, all 1-1s against Sheff Wed, Huddersfield and Derby. We then got our first win in quite some time, pretty much since the start of the last month in the league, a 1-0 win over Coventry. We then drew 1-1 again against Bristol and Leeds. We then beat Charlton 2-1 and then recently drew 0-0 with Barnsley. So we are very much, I don't think we're conceding a lot. I mean, you look at besides these losses here, if you look at the last sort of 6-7 games, it's never more than a goal. So if we can get 2 goals in a game, we usually win it, but we're at least getting a goal. And I mean, it's not great, but at least we're drawing. We're doing okay in the league. We are currently 13th, so 6 wins, 7 draws and 6 losses. So very, very mid-table form there. Another win and another loss and we'll be perfectly, in line there. So not the best, but not the worst. I think considering we were, in and around the bottom last time, to be quite a bit clear of the bottom 3 now. I think realistically, if we can start to turn some of these draws into wins, we can potentially even get into the playoffs this year. But I think as long as we finish upper mid-table, we'll be okay with that. In terms of our progression, we're still studying for our National B, so I haven't really had any job offers this round. So we'll see. I mean, December, January is usually when a lot of them become available. So you never know, that might be it. But realistically, I think we'd only move for a team that's capable of, getting promoted from the Championship or a Premier League club. That would obviously be the best choice as well. So we'll see. But we've got 2 good games here. Luton, who are, where are Luton? Down in 15th, so not the best season from them. So very winnable game there. And then we've got Ipswich, who are second in the league. So that's going to be a much more, much tougher game. But for our first game of the episode, we are at home to Luton. I would say that the bad form might be partly because our goalkeeper's been injured. Stefan Bajic has been injured for quite some time. He's missed probably the last month or so of games. So Charlie Setford, who is formerly of Ajax as a youngster actually, has come in and he's okay. He's like a League 2 goalkeeper, so it's a little bit unfair to criticise him, but he's done okay. 2 clean sheets in 7, just the 5 conceded, so I'm really not too worried about him. The back line is Sorensen, Omabamidele, Will Fish and Daliwell. In a midfield 2 of Munoz and Moran. And then we have supporting Jack Lux up top, Abaldo, Vardiol and Nico Paz. We're a little bit short of goal scorers. I think Jack Lux, since he's come back from an injury, looks quite good. He hasn't scored a lot of goals, but some of them have been in the cup. I think he could still come good. Obviously, we've got a couple of players leaving us. Crivelli's not really been doing the business. Sanusi's not really been doing the business either. So I think this is the best attacking 4 we've got. But we'll just have to see how we get on. Hopefully, we can get a result here. But I think the one thing is we have probably been a little bit in and out of players. I think we've probably had too many players just injured, too many players in and out of the side. We've not really developed that proper chemistry between the sides. So it is what it is, but we just have to really keep pressing on and trying to get results. Draws are okay. I mean, draws are fine. It keeps us in and around mid-table. All it takes is a good run for us to go into the playoffs, which is exactly what we're looking for here. So hopefully on camera we can start to pick up a couple wins here. Ipswich is going to be really tough, so if we're going to win one of these games, it's probably going to be today. But I do think we are just like I say, with just a couple players clicking away, a couple goal scorers. I think the defense is fine. I think Will Fisher's been decent since he's come in. Given that we don't actually have our main goalkeeper, the fact that we've only been really conceding about one a game, I think we've been okay. Obviously, if we can turn that one into a clean sheet, that means a lot of those results would be wins as well. So I guess defensively we could still improve, but we do definitely need to be better going forward. And I mean, I think that's just an example of it. We should be putting the ball in the box there. Instead, Sorensen's tried to have a shot himself, and he scored a couple like that, but it's not really what I would consider his best performance. I think we're really missing a proper striker, like a goal scorer. Probably the sale of Sarmiento's hurt us at the top as well. I don't think Abaldo or Abire have really replaced him. Nico Paz has been able to go back over to the left-hand side, which is his preferred side, which is good. Dhaliwal injured. I mean, that's the other thing. We've just had so many injuries. We'll bring Harmon on, he's not really been good. Dhaliwal, even though he is right-footed, is naturally a left back, which is weird, but he's been playing there pretty much every game since he really got himself into the side. He's not really been dropped, and whenever Harmon's had to come in, he's not really been very good, so hopefully he can be a bit better today. But a lot of their goals have come down his side when he has played, so yeah, he's not been great, but hopefully he can turn the style on a bit today. And I mean, that just kind of sums it up. This is what I'm talking about. I just think we're just a little bit the chemistry just between the players is just not there. We're just too many misplaced passes. We're just not linking up as well as I'd like. But there we go. You never know. We could have a chance there. And I mean, Vardiol, the goalkeeper dived trying to save it, but it got blocked. But it felt like Vardiol's feet, and instead of just having a shot, he's trying to take a touch. And I mean, if he just hits it first time there, gets in front of his man, we're 1-0 up, and unfortunately it's just not the case, and it looks like it's going to be Luton who get the first chance, but it's not. And Jack Lux picks up the ball, and I do like Lux. I mean, the fact that he's got an afro is just a bonus, but I do actually like the look of him. I think he looks like a decent player. As Moran picks it up on the edge of the box, and it's a great save. Well, it's a good save from the goalkeeper. Well, not a great save, but it was a good save from the Luton goalkeeper, and it remains 0-0. But this is very much, I mean, what you're seeing here, it's very much what I've been seeing for all these kind of games in between. It's why I'm not really showing a lot of games in between, because we're not really in the playoffs. We're not really in the relegation zone. I just don't think it's that interesting. So we are going to probably get through quite a lot of games in between these episodes, just because I just don't think it's a very exciting season. And I mean, mid-table seasons, yeah, I mean, they're just never that exciting. If we can start getting some results together, getting some goals, I mean, the games themselves aren't even that interesting, really, are they? I mean, it's obviously good to check in and see where we are, but we're not really doing anything in the games either. So it's not like they're a fun watch. We will bring little Franco Gonzalez on. I've been trying to use him more on the right, and it seems to do okay. He doesn't seem amazing on it. We'll leave Lux on. Really want to make any other subs. Bring Kento on for Munoz. I think one thing that Munoz is good at is tackling. I think one thing he's really not good at is kind of anything offensively. He really doesn't score that often. He really doesn't assist that often. He's very much a simple passer of the ball. And his role is just to win the ball back, so that's fine. But I think when some of the other players are maybe not contributing as much, you start to look a little bit further back. Well, my fullbacks can they get some goals? Can my centre-backs get some goals from corners? Can my midfielders start to score a few, assist a few? But doesn't look like it's his game particularly. And again, there's just Sorensen. He's in a great position. He just doesn't take the ball on well. It's very slow and lethargic, and it's not what I want to see from my team. And I don't want to be too critical, because again, we were in a relegation scrap last year and we have made improvements, but we haven't massively overhauled the squad. Well, obviously we did when we first came in, but in terms of the squad from last season, as Luton go goal ahead, and that's exactly what the games has been like. And we might get a goal, we might go and get a draw, but again, we just don't really create a lot, and we just allow the other teams to get in, and they're going to get wins. We'll take Nico Paz off, who's I expected a bit more from him, I think. Probably the fact that he's not playing with any top quality players around him is probably not helping either. But he has been a little bit disappointing. We'll take him off. I think he just picked up a knot there before we got him off, so thankfully he's off. But I think it is disappointing. I think he's just not really been the player that I was hoping for him to be. Should we do anything else? We'll put Gonzalez on the left. In the middle. We'll bring... What? I must have used all my... never mind. Cancel. Just stick with what... I must have used 3 subs. I didn't think I had. I thought I'd only done 2 stoppages. That must have been my bad. Oh, well. Never mind, eh? And it looks like it is going to be another defeat. I mean, I'm just a bit disappointed with us. We're just not really doing anything, We're just not really scoring, and that's the main thing. I'm not too worried about the defense. Yeah, I know we keep conceding, but it's never more than one. It's never really more than one. So a disappointing defeat there. We've got a very tough task next against Ipswich, who are flying in the league. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult. Dhaliwal's going to be out for like a month. Nico Paz just a couple of days, so he should be fit for the next game, or should at least be able to come back for the next game. And I mean, in terms of incomings, we do have a couple of players joining us, but it's only, I mean, we've got a striker. Did I mention this? We might not have. We've got a striker, a young Colombian. He's decent in the championship, so he's never even played a professional game, but he looks okay. He's quick, doesn't work that hard, but he's quick. Got some good flair, some good determination. Apparently, got potential, Premier League potential. So yeah, for 2 million. I think it's worth it. We've got a new goalkeeper in. Probably not really going to make too much of a difference. Abire and Coburn are going out, so that's more goals out of the side. Financially, we're okay. We could probably try and bring someone in January. Even if we just bring in a loan, I think we need something. So, but we'll have to work with what we've got. I mean, our top goal scorer is a midfielder. That says it all. So we'll work with what we've got. If we can get a win, then we'll have that perfect 3-7s that I was talking about. So for our second game of the episode, we do have Ipswich away. Our goalkeeper's still injured. He'll probably be back after the game after this episode. But again, I mean, he's not really been too bad. He's only been letting the odd goal in. So the team very much the same. The only changes are Sanusi comes in on the left-hand side because Nico Paz is obviously not fit after getting that injury. I thought he might have just recovered in time, but probably just a day or two short. Other than that, Harmon obviously came in at left-back after Dhaliwal got his injury, which means Coburn and Abire, who are obviously both on their way out of the club in January. I guess Abire is in December. Must just be the transfer window for the club he's going to. But yeah, in terms of that's just players on the bench. Obviously, we're probably not going to use them. Once I know a player's leaving, I never really like to use them because I would rather just give minutes to the players that I'm actually going to use. The only time I'd ever do it is if the player's really good and they're like a starter, but obviously neither of those are really starters. So quite a disappointing game against Luton. Again, we're just not creating anything. You'd think I'd change it up. We don't really have anyone to change around. I guess that's the crux of the issue, is we don't actually have a lot to change. But you look at the table, I mean, a couple wins and you're right up there. So it's kind of frustrating that we're not just getting those wins. But we are just seemingly a bit of a mid-table side. But what we don't want to do is kind of just keep drawing and keep losing and not win enough games that we eventually kind of just slowly and surely slip down the table and end up being in a relegation scrap. Because what we don't want to do and what the board don't want to see is us in a relegation battle. That's our aim, to avoid that. Not to just avoid relegation, but to avoid the battle. And I mean, we are doing that so far, and that's very poor from Moran. And I know this is a tough one, so it kind of sounds weird after everything I've said, but a draw here would probably be a good result because these are second in the league. But obviously a win would be massive, especially just for the confidence. As Sanusi, again, he just wins the ball there, but just doesn't do anything with it. Just plays it straight to Ipswich. And that's what I mean. It's like the chemistry is just not right between the players. It's just, I don't know if it's just not enough time between the players, or whether it's just not the right mix of players, or what's going on. Sanusi's a frustrating figure because he is actually good in terms of his quality on the ball and stuff. He just doesn't work hard at all. He's just got such low work rate that he's really hard to use. And Moran, I mean, how are we not scoring from these opportunities? It's just across the box and just no one there put it in. I think we need a striker. I thought Vardiol was going to be better. He's still a youngster, so I've still got faith he's going to come good, but it's just not putting the ball in the back of the net, and it's really hurting us. And I mean, we've probably been the better side here again. So I guess tactically, I'm happy enough with what I'm seeing in terms of the tactics. I'm not thinking, we need to. That's disappointing. It's probably a poor save from Stepford, to be honest. I've not really been too critical of him, especially with him only really being a backup goalkeeper. He's been forced to play way more than we would have liked, but he's probably not done too well there. He saved the initial shot, but he has just parried it straight back into them. Oh, and it's another set piece, and this time thankfully it's offside. I've seen the linesman's got his flag up, but it does remain 1-0. It's just disappointing. I just don't know what to say about it. We just don't look very good, and I think we just need a jolt, and I think we're not going to get that jolt till we probably get to January and can get some new players in. I just don't know what to do, to be honest. I'm feeling a little bit, not out of my depth, but I'm just feeling a little bit unsure of the best way to get everything out of this side. What's the best combination? Not sure. We're going to take Sanusi off. He's been terrible. I just don't like him. I'd send him back on his loan. I just don't like him at all. Abaldo can go on the left, Gonzalez on the right. Again, I think he's probably better down the middle anyway. You know what? Vardiol's been poor as well. I think I need to start making more changes in the games when it's not working. We'll bring Gonzalez in on the right. We'll try Lux out wide because he's got some legs. We'll bring Crivelli on. Maybe I've been too critical of Crivelli. I mean, he's got 3 league goals, which isn't really saying much, but he's kind of lost a bit of his fitness from not playing as well. I'm not really too fussed on him. He's out of contract at the end of the year. We've got an optional extension, 3 goals in like however many 15 odd games. Yeah, it isn't enough for me. We'll bring Coburn on. No, we won't bring Coburn on because we've got Crivelli. We'll bring Alfie Devine on. We need to make some subs at the back as well. Bring Munoz on, who's our right back, who has come back from injury. He just hasn't played a lot. We'll bring Viagra on as well for Omabami Deli. He's not playing very well, and he's on a yellow. I would have took Fish off normally, but he's actually been playing better. I mean, again, Harmon on a 6.3. He's just not good. It was probably a bit of a poor transfer from me, but there you go. Not sure about him. Not sure about the squad in general. This was always a tough game, and I mean, you look at it, we're not getting battered. This is what frustrates me about the side. I mean, I don't know what the goalkeeper's done there. I'm sure it's not his fault really, but he's just jumped backwards. I don't know what he's doing there. He's just dived backwards. Yeah, it's going to be another loss. 2 losses in a bounce, and I guess we'll check back in more frequently than I'd like if we are going to end up in a relegation scrap, because we're going to need to show those games to show that we are actually doing enough to stay up, because at the minute it doesn't look very likely. I don't think we're going to go down, but I don't think we're going to avoid the relegation battle like the board want. I think we are. I mean, we started off the season really well. I think we scored about 7 goals against Millwall or something, but yeah, since then, I don't know. It's just not looking good, just not scoring. Hopefully when we get our goalkeeper back, we can start to keep the goals out a little bit more as well. Might be time to do a team meeting, I think. Let's do a team meeting. Yeah, nice one. Okay, they actually responded well to that, which is good. Nice one. So, let's club. I mean, all of this is fine. We just need to turn the form around. I guess there has been a high turnover, so that might be it. They just, again, you can see there's like no links because just haven't played enough. I thought Fish and Omibami Deli might have played enough together, but I guess not. Yeah, disappointing. Very disappointing from us. Oh, I don't know what's happened there. Why has it gone just to... Okay, we're back in the months now. So, yeah, we'll play a bit off camera. We'll come back for Huddersfield Derby because we can do the end of the transfer window as well in that video. So we'll play the games in between. There's not a ton of games, but we'll play the games in between. You never know. We might just be on a cup run this year. You never know. We've got 2 cup games as well, FA Cup and Carabao. So we'll see how we get on with those. But I think the league is the focus. Obviously, we need to make sure we don't go down, don't get drawn into a relegation scrap. Hopefully, we can start to turn December around a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to be looking like it's going to be a pretty miserable one. And then hopefully in January, we can inject a bit of life into the team. But we'll see. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode of North to Prem. And I'll see you all for more very soon.